Short-term rentals for condominiums are one of the most challenging issues facing you, especially if you have a vacation destination to Florida, Carolina, southern Texas, something like that, a southern community where people tend to go. Airbnb, those kinds of places are great partners for owners that want to rent out their condo for income. However, some communities don't want that. So you as a board may be one of those communities where you say, hey, this is a scourge that's descended on our community and we can't have it. Before you charge down the path of we're going to do something about it, talk with your legal counsel. They may have some great insights that you may need to consider. They're going to be reviewing your governing documents. They're going to be able to look at your local zoning ordinances and laws and rules around these types of operations, short-term rentals. Third, state regs affecting STRs. Your attorney will be the guide on that. So go to them first before you, as a group, decide that you're going to do something about this or some other kind of issue in your community. But STRs definitely fall into this camp where you're going to want to have some legal coaching before you charge down the road of we're going to do something about it. Effective STR policies typically address minimum or maximum rental periods, registration requirements, occupancy limits, insurance requirements on the homeowner that is leasing their property out, guest screening protocols, some enforcement tools available to you and your management company are digital registration systems, security measures like key fob access, and that obviously depends if you have a townhouse or garden style unit rather than an apartment style unit. It'll be a little bit different. They'll have keys to their own individual unit, but they won't need keys or access to some common area stuff, typically. Maybe the pool, but you can work that out. But key fob access. Guest verification processes, violation tracking systems, and some common challenges that I've seen with STRs is identifying unauthorized rentals. Usually you're going to rely on co-owners to tell you that there's something going on in the community. It's not feasible for the management company to be everywhere at all times, nor the board members to be everywhere at all times. Enforcing occupancy units, imagine that. You all sleep at night, right? So what happens when someone comes in after the dark or after dark? You're not watching the community, each unit, all day, all night. Managing parking issues. Again, you can't be everywhere at all times, so you have to be reliant on residents. Now here's the scenario. A co-owner who lives on that block says, I'm going to report the issue. They call the management company 9 o'clock on a Friday night. The management company isn't there in most cases, unless you have specific arrangements, of course. But it's very difficult for a board or management company to enforce overnight parking unless there's a concerted, focused effort on that particular unit. And with an STR, you don't know when it comes and when it goes. It's not like it's happening every night, so you have a difficult time really getting after that kind of thing. Next, balancing owner rights with community concerns. Remember, and this is one of the big things that I've observed, is that boards will often get amped up when they have an issue that's reported to them. But remember, that resident who's renting out their unit, they have rights too. They bought in too. I'm not saying their rights are more or less worthy than the person who's reporting it, but you have to balance their rights. They have a right to exist in your community. Now, whether they're following the rules or not, obviously that's beyond the scope of what we're talking about here. But I want you to think about that. Be even-handed when you're a board member. Don't just jump when someone says jump. Look at it and say, I've got a resident A reporting an issue with resident B. Both of them have rights. I as a board member, represent both parties, and I have to treat both with respect and the same level of legal status. Now, the most successful STR management that I've seen requires clear communication channels. You have to let the board members all communicate with one another. You have to communicate with the residents who are impacted. The resident who's often reporting the issue, the resident who is supposedly violating the rules, or who has the short-term rental and maybe is within the rules, but may need to get on with a program of registering their rental in a certain way that maybe they're not doing right now. You have to have consistent enforcement procedures. Treating person A different than person B is not cool. Don't do it. Documenting what's going on. Photographs are ideal. Videos are ideal. That way there can be no dispute as to what happened on such and such a day. Generally, people who own STRs within a condo community are absentee, so they may actually not know what's going on, and they may not believe you because they're coming at you're asking them to go after their guests who are income generating people, and unless they have some kind of visual evidence, it's difficult for them to justify that type of aggressive action, which may impact their financial well-being. Regular policy reviews. Look at the policies that you have in place on a regular basis for short-term rentals, of course, because that's what we're talking about here. And make a point to ask your attorney, are these current? Is there a better way to do it? Are we keeping up with the times? Boards that do a policy and then it's 10 or 20 years old, I've seen it regularly. I've seen dates on these things going back to the 1990s. You probably need to update it. STRs is no different. While STRs present challenges, they can be effectively managed with proper systems and policies. If you found this perspective valuable, I invite you to connect with us. For our Instagram viewers, hit follow and feel free to DM us with your questions or community challenges. YouTube viewers, subscribe to our channel and check out the video description for links to our website, where you'll find our published works on community management, board excellence, and our unique management philosophy. Whether you're dealing with the challenges we discussed today or other community issues, we're here to help. Visit our website to discover our thought leadership content, books, and resources that can transform your community management approach. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.